going on, everybody? Hello, hello. How are you doing? Is there any music playing? What happened to the music? Okay. Am I even live? Oh. So what's crazy is I can hear the music on the stream replay, but I don't hear it here in my headphones. What is the reason for that? Give me a second. Let me see here. There we go. Now I can hear it. Now I know that we're live. Oh, hold on. Give me 1 second. Hang on. Hang tight. 1 second. Okay, let's get this thing going. All right, so happy Wednesday, happy hump day. It is December 11th, 2024. Bitcoin is back above 100K, at least for the time being. And what the hell happened to Splinter Cards? What is this? Like, my eyes are bleeding. Why does it look like this now? I don't like it. I don't like it at all. I will have to stop using Splinter Cards if this is how they're going to treat my eyes. But you can see here, Bitcoin is over 100K, E37. You know, it's a green day, which is nice. Even SPS is up 5.6%, except for the fact that Hive did finally correct. We were at like 42 cents or something, and it has finally come back down to 33 cents. So that pump and dump scheme with Hive is continuing to happen. Now, you know, I was wondering if maybe this was just like, oh, okay, we're done. We're done with the pump and dump stuff. This is going to just be a regular type of bull run, but that doesn't seem to be the case. We're getting these massive pumps and dumps. Now, they're not happening in the same day or the day after. This one went on for a while, but the general uptrend for Hive has still been pretty good, especially over the last 60 days here. Things have been quite fantastic. Now, considering all things considered, you have to remember that this all started probably post election, so only about a month of that is only like half of this is like the last month. But you know, on the whole, things are looking good. Look at vouchers though. Vouchers are up to 1.25 cents, the most we've seen them in a very, very long time. We have burned, I believe, around 100, or not 100, but a million vouchers in total for the new ULFGA card. But when I check the printing and distribution, I cannot see how many have been printed yet. So let's actually double check that now. DEC remains low. SPS went below a penny again. So, you know, that's usual Splinterline stuff. All the tokens are just going to chop around for the entire bull market. Better get your Bitcoin now. That's all I'll say. Okay, so... Oh, there we go. ULFGA the Blighted. Lovely. Okay, so it has been added. 732 BCX has been purchased. Let me actually run that on the calculator here, just out of curiosity. So was it 732? 732 times 1500 is, yeah, about 1,098,000 vouchers that have been burned. So far, ULFGA is looking all right. Now, what's our break even? Because this is about 1 month, or it's not even quite 1 month of what we need. It's close to 1 month. But let's see, 3.6 million divided by 1500. So we would need 2,400 BCX printed in order for ULFGA to roughly break even. But that's the thing. We don't even want ULFGA to break even. We don't just want ULFGA to break even. We want there to be even more, so that we can get through this backlog of vouchers that we have, especially all the new ones that we ended up getting for Mana Warden, because people just did not want Mana Warden. So once we hit 800, we'll be a third of the way through, and the fact that we did that within the first 24 hours is pretty good. But you know what that tells me? Like, if we go here to let's see, like the voucher rich list. Rich list, there we go. Vouchers. I mean, have these folks bought yet? I mean, did they not? You see Vugtis with like 500,000. I mean, I guess maybe they did, because in order to get a max copy, all you need is 16,500. I mean, like all you need. That's a lot still. But like that really wouldn't put a dent into what Vuctus is holding. That wouldn't put a dent into what Aggie or Bubkey are holding. Right? Like, it's not that much. I mean, even Jarvis sitting on like 88,000 vouchers. He could buy several. Housewife has 72,000. So, you know, I wonder if people are just hanging on to them, or I don't know. But at this point, let's see here. Let's go back to that. So 732 divided by 11. So we now have potentially 66 maxed copies of this card. And keep in mind, maxed copies are desirable now, right? Sure, you can go to just level 3, which was the game plan before, but Rebirth and Slow got switched. So in a way, that's actually quite a good thing, because for people that want the full effect of this card. And I did see it in action yesterday. It's pretty good. So let's do a little math here, because I want to see if there are people that are trying to farm the gold foils, which I have to imagine that there are. But let's just run the numbers next to each other and see what happens. Okay, so all right, so Ulfga is going for $16.80 now. Is the low price BCX. I mean, we'll just say like 17, because there's a bunch for 17. Yeah, see someone like Don't Hurt Me Please. Look, they have all these extras. Why would they be selling them? Now, here's the question. 1,500 times 0.0125 is $18.75. So, it's more expensive to go and buy with vouchers. You are better off selling your vouchers. Well, actually, you take a 10% hit, right? So what was that? $1.87. Wow, this market is so efficient. Because $1.87 gets you down to like 17 bucks. So if you were to like sell your vouchers, take that 10% hit. Like, let's say you had $18.75 worth of vouchers. Oh, I'm sorry. Let's say you had 1,500 vouchers, which is roughly $18.75. If you were to sell those vouchers, that would get you a US dollar value close to $17. Very, very efficient market. So yeah, it's either you take the vouchers and you buy them, or you just sell the vouchers. Maybe you come away with a little bit more, a little extra off the top, especially if you can get, you know, swipe something for $16.80. So until these start to get eaten up, I wouldn't expect too many folks to be buying from the store. Now, the reason this is so appealing, right? Like, why would you buy this versus going and like buying vouchers or something? Well, it's because you're going to take a hit no matter what. The only way to buy vouchers now, keep in mind, is you're taking a 10% hit on that as well, right? Whether you buy or whether you sell, right? Is that the case? This is 10%. Oh, I guess no, the 10% comes from the sellers. Hold on, let me double check this. Now I'm confusing myself. Manage. Flex the total share. Okay. Oh, no, let's go to swap. All right, so the amount to receive is based on the current market value. There's a 10% fee on swap values, which 5% goes to the market shareholders. How does that work? Can somebody explain that? So there's a 10% fee. I guess it impacts everybody, right? Because things are just burned, and then you take the hit. Because it's the amount you receive is impacted by that too. Interesting. All right, let me jump into the chat here. We got Gathering the Magic. Hello all. Everyone snatch up the new voucher card. I did not. Did you? Mystic Force is here. Blockchain Project says, I still need 1482 vouchers. All right, well, you got 8, so you're off to a good start. Gathering says 900 max copies will eat all vouchers. yeah, I don't think we're going to get anywhere close to 900 max copies. I would say that there are probably maybe only 50 players, no, maybe 100 players that are like competitive and are trying to get every single card out there. So, the fact that we are already at like enough BCX for 66 max copies, I can see us maybe doubling that, and then we'll see where the rest of this goes. But so far off to a good start. Hopefully, people will buy cards, buy vouchers. The thing that's important to understand about this is that this 10% thing on vouchers is actually quite abusive, because if you think about how good the card, well, it's not about how good, but like the value of the card, whether you are selling vouchers or whether you're buying vouchers, you're taking the hit, right? So those who want this card, this is what I'm trying to get at here, right? So let's say you had $17 worth of value. If you converted that, right, and you wanted to buy vouchers and get that card, it's not worth it because you get hit on those fees. So if anything, it's better to just buy it off the secondary market. So until we see the secondary market start to clear up, meaning that everything has been bought already, right? So until we start to see the secondary market clear up on this and the floor price for the card rise, maybe 1745, 1749, 1780, right? Where all of a sudden it's actually then becomes more beneficial to go and buy vouchers and use them in the shop. But there's a lot of cards here. And again, my guess is that these are all people who were chasing the gold foils, right? They had enough vouchers, they went in. How much is it for 25? So 25 times 1,500. 37,500. So if you spend 37,500, you get a guaranteed gold foil. Maybe your luck is good and you get multiple, but that's 25 cards there. Which means if all that you want is the gold foil, then yeah, you end up with 24 extra cards. It's like more than enough, more than 2 max copies. All right, Plato's in the house. What's going on? How's it going, everyone? Getting the new cards? Oh, shoot. I'm sure some people are. Man, I just finished my second cup of coffee too. What is going on? I need to be prepared for this afternoon. All right, Gathering says, I think we'll be lucky to sell 100 max. What are we talking about here? Sell 100 max what? Oh, max copies? Oh, okay. You were saying 900. We'll do that, but then 100 max. So hold on. Let's see. 100 max copies is 1,100. And what was I saying we needed? Oh, 2,400. So you're saying that we're going to have another 1.8 million voucher inflation over the next quarter or over the next 3 months. Because that's no bueno. That's actually worse than how Mana Warden did. My guess is that most people want to get at least the level 3 version. So is that 4,500 vouchers? Like if 500 people, I know there's not 500 people in this game, so never mind. Let's just stay away from that speculation. Good start though. Okay. Plato Zero says, I've been wanting to start getting cards again. Maybe more people like me will start buying something. Do it, man. Which cards are you targeting? Rebellion? Like Core, Rebellion promo? Auto like. Thank you so much, Red X. Get some vouchers to play the side game. What's the side game? I don't even know what the side game is. Gold foil going for 170. Indeed. So Plato says buying with vouchers gives a shot at a gold foil, right? Oh, yeah, that's true. It does give a shot at a gold foil. So there is that. If you want to play your luck, it's a 4% chance. but you are going to pay a premium for that. Harris is here. Happy to the moon day. And then coming through on Twitch, we got Open the Newer. Someone's been swapping that market. I bought it $16.69 with loads at that price. What do you mean? Someone's been sweeping the market? Oh, okay. Well, I mean, I think people are probably just understanding that if you just want to buy the card, it's easier to just go straight up here. You don't have to worry about any swap fees. You know, getting in and out of vouchers is a nightmare at that 10%. So, if I was looking to get the card, I'm looking on the secondary market, right? Because for me, this is very easy. I don't have to do any calculations. I don't need to worry about how many vouchers and how much I'm going to lose on DEC and 10% here. It's like, you know what? I'm just going to buy these three. It's going to cost me $50 and 78 cents. And then I'm golden. All right. I get my level 2. Yeah, I saw this card in action. Somebody posted a battle yesterday. It was quite entertaining. I think you can get away with the poor man's version of this, where you throw it into the mix, and there are so many resurrect units out there now, right? You got Life has one, Dragon has one, Death has one. So you got options. Therefore, you can go for the poor man's Ulfka at just level 2. All Rebellion to get ready for the new Modern come April. Nice. Man, so I have a delegation, still have my delegation from Lorcus. So shout out to Lorcus, thank you. For, what's that summoner? Oh, the Lorcus summoner. And I have been having so much fun with it. I love spamming it whenever I can. It's the only Rebellion summoner that I have at max level, and it's quite good, which makes me believe, like, okay, if I'm going to do something, if I'm going to get any cards, I really think it's got to be it's got to be these legendary summoners. The problem is they're just so expensive. Yeah, see, even Lorcus jumped up. Lorcus used to be like the $15 to $20 range. Now it's at $30, pretty much. Tofu came down, I guess, to 51, 52. I have not heard great things about Nidhogger, so I'm not like jumping for joy on that. But even EMP is up to $20 now. It used to be 15. I think that similar to when Rebellion first came into the mix, these summoners are just going to absolutely dominate. If you have these summoners, when the next set comes out, it's just going to not be great for you. Oh, sorry, if you don't have them. All right, Red X says, you broke it down earlier with the holders playing poker. We technically have 80 days to mint. What do you mean we have 80 days to mint? What's 80 days from now? That's like mid-February. No. Yeah. Or early March. David says, why don't they reinstate level caps for the lower leagues? It used to be much better. Yeah, I don't think that's coming anytime soon, man. My guess, and again, I've said this many times, I'd be open to reconsidering it after the bull run if, you know, the bull run is not effective in bringing new people in. That being said, I've heard a lot of really good feedback that people playing in the lower leagues, and I don't know what league that you were in, but if you want to share here, playing in the lower leagues has gotten much better, right? If you're in bronze, you're really only playing against like bronze-ish level accounts from a level cap perspective. Silver and gold are kind of the same. So if you haven't tried it in a while, I would recommend jumping back in and seeing what your experience is like. It seems as though it's better. Open the Newer says, I lost $40 trying to buy DEC to vouchers. Whoa, wait, how? But the card is lit. Oh, Venka's pet dragon. That's funny. Not lost but trapped for 3 days. Wait, open the newer. What happened? How is your money trapped? That's not cool. Conclave will probably have some new Resurrect cards too. I hope so. We haven't seen anything. We haven't seen as much from Rebellion. So yeah, are there any Rebellion cards with Resurrect? I don't know the Rebellion cards too well, so this is why I ask. Let's do abilities. Okay. Resurrect. That's what we were doing. And then Rebellion. One card. Commander Goff. So there's not much. I mean, once Chaos is gone, you lose those 3, at least the 3 that I'm aware of. Oh, let's go to Chaos Legion again. Okay, well, you can't use it with Astral Entity. Oh, I forgot about River Helendale. So you have these, and then you also have the reward cards. So, sorry, just, oh, here, reward Stillbound. It's not showing it, but it's the death one. And then the promo card, which is Oshur. So that's very, very different. I can't get over how ugly this looks. Why did they change it? I don't even want to look at the screen anymore. I can't. Let's go back here and look at these stupidly high Rebellion prices. But guys, oh, you know what? I guess I have to go back there. I believe we have 7 days or less of Rebellion remaining in stores. I guess eight burns more. That's wild. 186,000. Now, pack sales have picked up ever so slightly. So what is this? 924 plus 56. That's 980. 981,000. Man, are we even gonna cross a 1 million? I think it'd be so sad if we don't. But then again, I don't know who's gonna come in and buy 19,000 packs. Like, that's not chump change either, you know? David, if you play Clash Royale, that game is more played with rank like that. Plus, you get a chest every season, not just one time. It's been a long time since I played Clash Royale. I don't remember it. Howdy, Bananas. Good to see you. Red X says 82 days for Ulfga. I mean, wait, hold on. Why is it only 82 days? Or is it because they started Ulfga late? Because the Mana Warden card came in on September 3rd. So technically this should have come in like December 3rd if you're trying to be specific, right? But we got it on the 10th since that is when their maintenance window was set for. Interesting. All right, Spring Victory Studios says, agreed, it does feel a lot better now. Gold feels like 2 years ago. Oh, see, okay, so David, I would highly recommend you go back and check it out. Here's yet another testimonial. So OpenLearner says, I bought Hive, which is showing in my keychain wallet, but not my BSwap wallet. Then I converted the Hive to Hive. Oh, HBD. Oh man, you're taking a 5% hit on that too, and then converting it to HBD. Oh, yeah. And then you're gonna take another hit, sending it in game, or maybe you can go buy. I don't know. Maybe you can just buy credits at that point. Hive is 100% not user friendly. Yeah, most of crypto isn't. You gotta know all that stuff. David says, I'm in silver right now. I'm constantly facing level 8 summoners, and it's just not fun or competitive. I'll have to rent higher level cards myself at some point, but it used to be much more fun to play. Interesting. So Supreme Victory Network is saying that gold sounds better, but you're saying that silver doesn't. I wonder if there's just been a resurgence in more playing in Modern. I know that for myself, this season I have started playing in Modern once again. In fact, you can go see my games here have increased as I have left energy for myself to play. So let's do a little comparison now, because the earnings are significantly better, right? So I'll probably end up doing a video on this at some point soon, where I was trying to max my glint earnings rather than my SPS earnings a little while back, or at least once the new cards came out, because I wanted to get those leveled up as quickly as possible. Now I'm getting to a point where, I'll probably be able to max out most commons within the next couple of seasons, maybe some epics and rares. In fact, here, let's just go look at the numbers, because I've gotten all of the tier 1 card draws for this season. And I am considering myself how much more I want to continue doing that versus spending glint elsewhere, right? So yeah, I'm at 80% here, 62%, 80% commons, 62% rares, 68% epics. I'm lagging on legendaries, but that's fine. None of the legendaries are interesting to me. I mean, sure, maybe this dude is Galacus and Sirenth to a certain extent, but like, it's like once I max these out, well, actually, I wouldn't even bother maxing them out. I think at some point I'm going to, like, once I get past 90% for commons, for example, I'm just going to either start buying some reward chests or get them through the reward chests that I open, right? And maybe 90% might be too low, but it's like these cards are not going away anytime soon. And I don't, I'm not using them enough at this point where it's like, okay, I need to go and get, what's that called? I need to have like the max copy of them. Again, that might change, but that might change once Rebellion is the only thing available in Modern, right? Or once Chaos Legion is no longer available in Modern. But I don't have any summoners to play these guys, or at least not even at max level. So that's going to be the big question mark for me, is over the next week, essentially, am I buying these Rebellion summoners or am I not? Am I buying land or am I not? I don't know. I'm really torn, and I know it's coming down to the wire here, but I'm really just kind of giving into this. I'm giving into this indecision, and probably just I don't know at this point. Like, I figure I might as well min-max Modern right now for the next 3 months or 4 months until Chaos is rotated out, and then I'll permanently move over to being a wild player. Unless I really want to go heavy on Conclave Arcana, if they just like convince me, or money's flowing like crazy in 3 months. We have a massive bull run. But yeah, I've been killing it in Modern lately. Now, this is what I was trying to tell you guys earlier, about what's his name, Lorcus. I've been spamming Lorcus with most of my battles and getting a lot of, or mostly, wins, which shows just how powerful like these Rebellion summoners are with the tactics. So you can see here I'm 33 out of 45 with a 12 max streak. So David, to your point, you probably ended up facing me because I think I started off in silver, or maybe I started off in gold, but I pretty much smashed through gold, and am now in diamond, which I think is kind of where I belong. I don't know if maybe I can get to diamond too. I'm not trying too hard. Basically, all I did was I looked at this and I was like, okay, my wild, my bot was able to make it into, well, we did make it into champion at some point. Yeah, see over here. And then I was like, okay, I hit champion. I got to open those reward chests. Let me go and try see how many reward chests I can get in Modern format. So I think I went from gold 3 up to diamond 3. And it's been good so far. I don't know that I can make it to diamond 2. I mean, I'll try it because there's still like 3.5 days left. In fact, let's do a battle right now. See how it goes. Because remember last time I was on stream and I did a battle and It conked out, even though I did everything right. I did everything right and submitted it and all that. Okay, let us see here. Okay, so once again, I am going to go with Lorcus, because Lorcus is just too fun. It's just too fun. I cannot imagine how fun it is to play with all of the tactic summoners. Okay, so I want some flyers. Definitely want some flyers. Let's do him. Okay, let's check the flyers now. Riftwing could be cool. But do I want... Okay, hold on. Let's do Riftwing. And let's do... Who's that? This is the Resurrect guy. And then for... Oh, man, you know what? We're going to do Exploding Rats. Okay, we're gonna have some fun with this. We're gonna do Exploding Rats, and we're gonna try and get the Resurrect to them so we can do double redemption. And then I got Snare there, and then we'll see. I'm most likely going to give Life Leech to Usut and Blight, but let's see. Oh yeah, definitely, because they're in the back. Oof, but you know what? Yeah, you know, we'll still do Usut and Blight. That self-heal, so he'll just be getting crazy with it. Now, actually, maybe I shouldn't do Blight, and you know why? It's because... But let's just battle, because he's going to be like untouched for a while. He's just going to be taking earthquake damage. All right, let's see how if my graphics can handle this. All right, so we'll watch this, and then I'll jump back into the chat. Oh, speed is so slow. Let's do 2. Oh, I forgot that there's no... Oh, you know what? That ended up working out, because now I'm going to get a double... I ended up getting double of this on the Venari Marks Rat. Double of the Martyr. So that worked out perfectly. That's new, isn't it? That was wild. Oh, I don't know if I like that. That's like a lot going on at the same time. Oh yeah, Usut's a beast. See, just do fun. 8.198. Okay, so to now put a bow on that topic I started before I got distracted. The reason I'm playing Modern now, not just for that, is because of the fact that, I mean, SPS is worth more, and I like earning more SPS. So now that I'm not as worried about Glint, I am trying to min-max my my ROI. I want as much SPS as possible. So, okay, Redx says, I feel you, David. Thanks for sharing that. Bilson's here. What's going on, Bilson? Redx says, rent max chaos level summoners and target renting max chaos rift watchers and max Kellyanne Quicks. Okay. And max Demon Shark for sure. Demon Shark's still a beast. So I think I answered this already, but State of Survival is asking, are you going to play in Modern once Seal drops out and Conclave arrives? I mean, at this point, I don't know. I guess if I had to give an answer, no, because I'm not sure how heavy I'm going to go into Conclave Arcana. And while I have the a decent like Rebellion reward set. I don't know how heavy I'm going to go into Rebellion. I don't have any summoners, so that's a question that I'm going to have to answer at a later time. The thing is, I like Wild. Wild is cool, and Wild allows me to buy, a lot of the older, like if I'm gonna spend money on cards. See, so for example, right, like, let's do this. Because at that point, it won't be about like earning SPS. I mean, earning SPS is cool, but like I get SPS a lot of ways, right? From staking SPS to the node licenses. I guess I'm not as much into the LPs anymore, but you get my point. So let's get rid of Rebellion. Let's look at Wild. It's like, okay, I could get Tofu or I could get Kitty. You know what I mean? Like, that could be interesting and fun. I could get a Jotun, right? Now, this is all with, now here's the thing. This is all with the expectation that like at some point, the premium on these Rebellion cards will come down. Now, the tough part is there's going to be less Rebellion cards than Untamed cards, but Rebellion is going to have, a premium on it still while it's in Modern for the next, who knows, 18 to 24 months after Conclave Arcana comes out. But, there's a lot of like older, interesting summoners here. Let's see if we go all the way to the bottom. I don't know. I also think a lot of this is going to change once the other game mode is out. Okay, hold on. What's the thing I wanted to check? Let's look at Chaos Legion summoners and look at all of them. And let's do max level. How much does it cost to rent these guys? So here's the thing, man. Like, at this point, it's still very like lucrative to rent out cards, in my opinion. Look, this is like 3 cents. We'll just call this 2 cents, right? 2 cents. So 3, 2, what was that? 5, 7. We'll round this up. 9. 10 or 12, 13. Like, let me put it this way. You have access to so many cards. Reward cards, I should say, right? The Chaos Legion, as well as, hopefully if you've earned a lot of the Chaos Legion rewards, as well as now the Rebellion cards. I think if you spent 13 cents a day renting out these 6, right? The legendary summoners, you'd probably go a pretty far way. The game would be much more interesting for you. Now, the question then becomes, okay, are you trying to like min-max, David? Like, what's your goal with this? Like, is 13 cents a day too much? And I'm not trying to be like hyperbolic, or I'm not trying to, it's just like, I don't know what your goals are. But like, I look at that and I'm just like, oh, 13 cents a day to have like 6 of the best summoners in Modern format right now, right? The other 6 being the ones in Rebellion. That's not terrible, especially with, how well you probably can do. And in fact, like, I mean, I wish I could run an experiment. It'd be fun to run an experiment to see, like, okay, if I rent these cards for 13 cents a day, how far could I get in the game with just like reward cards, for example, right? Because, okay, let's do it this way. You rent those 6 cards, right? And maybe you can rent some of the other ones here. So if let's say you need some 4 mana cards, you can go with like Tarsa, General Sloan, Dallin, right? Like these are all like, you can rent 5 of these for a penny, right? Or you can rent these 4 for like a penny, and just kind of diversify there. So now we're talking about like, okay, 15 cents for summoners, right? 15 cents for summoners. Now you go to the reward cards and see how you can do. Oops, let me get rid of summoners. All right, so I'm talking about like, look at all these. You can rent at max level for 0.0001, right? So this is not even a penny. None of these are like, you can essentially rent all of these guys for like a penny. That's how wild it is right now. And I wonder how well you'd be able to do renting cards for like 20 cents a day, max level cards for 20 cents a day. This is wild. Should we try this? Should we run a little experiment here? It'll make me play the game a lot, which, you know I hate because I hate losing. But it's kind of wild. Like for 20 cents a day, right? How much SPS would you need to win per day to get 20 cents a day? You need to win, well, SPS is about a cent. So you need to win 20 SPS per day. So this comes down then to how much SPS staked do you have, if any at all, right? Now you can go and rent that as well. And as long as you put your price for like 0.002, you'll get as many as you need, right? I kind of want to try this. 20 cents a day. How long could we go for and how much could we get? Could you break even playing the game? And here's the thing. I mean, you'll essentially come out ahead in the long run. I mean, again, this is not, and this is what I'm trying to like avoid getting into, is like this whole min-maxing philosophy. It's like, if you're trying to make money, don't play the game. Guys, seriously, if you're trying to make money, don't play this game, right? Like, it's not passive income, it's active income. And it's just a way for you to have fun and earn something. But still, even if you were to just break even, that'd be kind of crazy, right? Because you're hopefully like building equity in the long run. You're earning more SPS. That SPS is earning you vouchers. If you don't care about what the vouchers buy or they're too expensive, you just sell the vouchers and you buy more SPS, right? And your SPS stake just continues to grow over time. Or you take the vouchers and you sell them for, DEC to cover your rentals. But hold up. Let me, so 20 cents a day, right? Let's say somebody wanted to try the game and they wanted to bring you $20. We'll say $10 plus the $10 for the spell book, right? So 10 divided by 0.2. You could play for 50 days. You could play for 50 days with that deck. That is 3 seasons. That's 3.5 seasons. And if you can't figure out whether or not you like the game after that, well, I mean, we have the free to play, so hopefully you can figure out whether or not you like the game beforehand. But you get my point. The buy-in is so incredibly low with these cards, which is only going to last for 4 more months until April when Conclave Arcana comes out, because then these cards are no longer playable in Modern, and you will have to buy the Wild Pass. Or if they don't implement a Wild Pass type scenario in survival mode, then you can go over there and do that, and that'd be interesting too. I think there's going to be some fascinating things over in survival mode. I genuinely don't think it's going to be as bot heavy as people are expecting it to be, because again, if these bots are just going to run 1v1 or level 1 cards, anytime that they run into anybody else, boom, those cards are done. Those cards are done for the entire season, right? They get crushed, the cards are done for the season, and that's it. And sure, maybe they have the strategic advantage that there's just so many of them out there. But they'd have to be making a lot, which means they'd have to have SPS staked as well. Oh, that's something that we didn't really think about. I haven't thought about in considering this, right? Everybody's like, oh, these bots are going to come back and they're like so bad, whatever. Again, I'm not going to get into the good or badness of the bots. But if they come back, in order for them to earn any SPS, they're going to have to rent SPS, which is something they stopped doing. So all of a sudden, your SPS rentals start to go up. Your APR on SPS starts to go up. SPS starts to get a little bit more scarce. Things start to feel a little bit better. SPS holders start to feel like they're getting more value. Oh, I can't wait until this mode launches. I really want to see how it goes. Because once again, I'm not worried about exploits here or there. I think the team's going to be very much on top of it and trying to squash anything that seems like it can get out of hand. But there's so many potential ways that things could roll that make it exciting, in my opinion. So many different ways that they could dynamically impact the game economy and the card economy. Oh, I'm feeling bullish right now. 2025 is going to be wild for this project. Because I'm thinking of that, right? That's January. February's land. March is, I don't know, glamour. What did I say? Glamour and, prepping for Conclave Arcana. Like all this stuff is, Q1's shaping up to be pretty good. Again, assuming they deliver. But let's keep our fingers crossed. How much are these cards if you were to buy them? Yeah, they're pretty damn expensive. Now, the ones I'm more curious about are just any and all summoners. Because let's say I move over to wild format and survival mode. And it's like, I just want to have as many summoners as possible, max level summoners. There's not that many on the market. Look at this. These are all single digits down here for max level. Now, granted, you could buy a bunch of, non-max level and then max level them up yourself. But let's see. Yeah, 254. I mean, that's not that many. My hope, for the sake of everybody and for the sake of the game, is that we start to finally feel Chaos Legion card scarcity. That would be awesome. Give me a second here. Oh. Oh, what happened to the stream? There we go. All right, let me jump back in the chat. I'm just getting all crazy here. Letting my mind run wild. All right, Wilson says, did all you Soul Degens claim your me token? Or get any meme the other day? Still not up on the Solana hype train. I mean, I have some Soul, but I'm just staking it. So no, there's no claims. I don't know what's going on with all of the meme coins on there. Says Rob said cards are mostly cheap, but renting game changer cards cost a fortune. Whenever I rent, it costs me roughly $50 per season. Holy moly. Well, yeah, I mean, if you want to play at the top levels, that's always going to be the case. Clayboyne, I think it was Clayboyne that said, no, it might have been Royal Eagle that said this in Discord the other day, which really stuck out to me. Because it goes back actually to something that Aggie was quite passionate about when he was CEO, and that is not everybody's supposed to have a full collection. People have different cards, and there's only going to be a few, folks out there that have like everything because it's so freaking expensive. But like for the rest of us, it's like you have to pick and choose your battles, like which cards are the ones that you want. And therefore you're like kind of picking your team, which is an incomplete set, versus somebody else's team that is also an incomplete set that has a different selection of cards, right? So in that way, like the meta becomes very different. The game becomes very different. Sure, it's not about like, okay, ghost cards, everybody has access to the same thing, and we all just see skill. But that does exist, right? We do have ghost card tournaments and there's ghost card challenges, and people can participate with that. But in the ranked play version of the game, it's like, what cards do you own? And most other people are not going to own everything, right? And I think that that Rebellion is going to be the shift back to that, because Chaos was not. Everybody had Chaos and they had extra copies of Chaos. Rebellion doesn't seem like it's going to be the case. Conclave, I don't know, that remains to be seen. Untamed to a certain extent. I mean, maybe some people have like fully maxed Untamed cards, but I don't know, man. Stated Problem says, don't forget to check your farm. Thank you for the reminder. I'll always forget. No, actually, I've been pretty good. There's only been like one time in the last couple of months, I think, that I have not checked my land. But since you brought it up, let's go ahead and see. Oh yeah, see, 3 days ago. And I got everything up and running. So we're good to go. I suppose I can harvest all if I wanted to. Oh, my mythic is ready to go. My keep is ready, so let's just do that. 69,000 SPS, or just 69 SPS? Yeah, perfect. That's the exact number we want to claim. Now the question is, what do I do with all of this grain? I have primarily been selling it for DEC, which I'll then sell for SPS or something. But as of the most recent claim, or the last two claims maybe, I started throwing it into the LP. I don't know if that's a good move or not, but let's see. Let's go to the trade hub. One grain now costs 0.007. Okay, so the price of grain has not really gone up. My contribution is tiny, 0.002%, which is nothing. 350 DEC. But I think this could be something interesting in the future. There will be a lot more activity on this pool, just because everybody needs food. I mean, well, everybody's going to need everything, but food is, grain is still definitely going to be there. The thing is, like, I don't know. I know CryptoMan is going to come up with a way to like track your fees earned, which is cool. But let's see how much, if I were to put all my grain in there now. $461. All right, that's fine. Let's just put 75,000 in. Why not? Now, what was that? 0.002? I don't think that's going to change. Oh, never mind. 0.005. Oh, I doubled. I literally doubled, more than doubled the amount of DEC that I threw in there. Okay, well, moving on up. What's my goal? What's 1%? Hold on, where's my calculator? 1% of the pool. 0.01 times how much DEC? 16,486, 170, 16 million DEC. So I need to put in 164,000, 65,000 pretty much DEC inside to get 1% of the pool. Oh, let me see if that's accurate. This is 0.01 divided by 0.005. Wait, hold up. 773 divided by 18486 170. Oh, okay. Oh, okay. There we go. Yeah, so 0.01 divided by 0.00005. 200. I would have to 200x my current share. So times 773 is, yeah, about 150, 160,000 DEC. What was that, 150 bucks? Now, the question is, what are the fees earned? Let's look at the past 7 days. Let's look at the past 30 days just to get full thing. So 2786 divided by 30. So $92 of trade activity per day on average the last 30 days, which is less than that's like half of what they did in the last 24 hours. But then you have to multiply that by 5%. 5% gets burned, the other 5% goes to you. So 4.64, and then divide that by the 26,960. Gets you a daily percentage rate of 0.00017 times 365. APR is at 6.2% right now, or at least for the past 30 days. That's what it was on average. Will that go up? Who knows? Maybe, hopefully. But unlike, there's no like reward token being given out for this. So everything is mainly just driven on, it's like, wow, look at vouchers continuing to roll up. Everything is mainly driven on the volume, right? All right, let me jump back into the chat. 57 minutes, guys. This is crazy. Today's live stream actually went very quickly, so thanks for all the fun conversation. Vilson says Emmy is the Magic Eden token. Oh, cool. All right, I've never actually used Magic Eden, but cool. So Red X says, oh wow, nice. I know Earthquake is a single frame, nice for a pace of rounds and battles. Yeah, I guess, it sucks for people who are new to the game that may not understand, like, okay, why did like this person get it but this person not? But I'm sure they'll pick it up quickly. Dragon, what's going on? Hey everyone, I'm missing out on the stream because of my apartment move, but I'm almost done. All right, dude, good luck with the move. Hope everything wraps up well for you. And Matthew Young's in the house too. Let's go. Status Raw says that legendary voucher card is really expensive, even with the vouchers. Well, okay, so let's redefine this. Let me reframe this. How expensive is it? Now, the price has obviously been going up because vouchers are going up, right? But that's also what we wanted, is it not? So 1,500 times 0.0135 is now $20.25 per BCX. Okay, $20.25 per BCX. In contrast, the legendary Hall of Legends promo cards have all been trading at 50,000 DEC, which is $50 at peg, or we've been about a 40 or 20% discount. So they've all been trading for about $40. So even at this price, with vouchers spiking to 0.0135, you have a situation where the card, right, the voucher promo card is $20 cheaper at from USD terms. $20 cheaper than the other legendary promo cards that are coming out. And you can say, okay, well, maybe those other legendary promo cards are like dual element and whatever. But I mean, it's still a single card, right? A single card that has value in the game, similar to the other ones. So I would put them on par. And trading at $20, when you look at cards that you can open in packs, which I would not consider premium cards, all right? I'm talking about legendary cards from Rebellion packs. All of those legendary cards, or all of these summoner cards, I think are more expensive or around that price, right? Definitely Tofu, Lorcus, Cryptic, Nidhogger, right? So only EMP and the Squirrel. EMP is about on par with that card as well, and Squirrel is below it, right? But let's take out summoners and just look at all units, because it's a unit, it's not a summoner. Like Venka is more expensive than it. Venka is more expensive, and it's only $5 more, or if we do percentage differences, like it's 33% more expensive than the top tier cards in Rebellion, right? These two right here, Rage, and Dark Dead Blast, if you take Venka out of it. So again, reframing it from a US dollar perspective, I think is important. Now, here's the thing. If this jumps up to, what is it, 0.135? So if it jumps up to let me just not do this in my head, times 2, 0.27, right? 0.0 or 2.7 cents. If vouchers jump up to 2.7 cents, all of a sudden that card, Ulfga, is going to be worth $40, which puts it on par with the Hall of Legends. But think about the fact that in order for that to happen, vouchers had to do a 4x, right? And how many vouchers we potentially burned and made vouchers scarce again. So, just saying, it's interesting. It is a promo card after all, right? And I would say if you are planning to buy it, you have to actually plan to buy it. I don't like this idea of like getting it for free just because you stake a lot of SPS. I mean, I get it, right? Because as like an SPS staker, I wanted to get exclusive cool benefits and stuff like that too. That's what was promised with vouchers, but the promise of vouchers has shifted and changed so much. It's like a bastard version of itself at this point. So in terms of what we have now, I'll take it, right? I'll take it because it's giving vouchers appropriate utility, or more utility than when vouchers had a ton of utility, right? It's very selective. It's very focused. It's for things that people really want, or at least certain players in the game really want, and more importantly, are willing to pay for. And so therefore, if I'm gonna buy the cards, right, I get about 40 vouchers a day, which is like nothing compared to, I mean, it's a lot, don't get me wrong, but if I wanted to buy that card, like I can't just like sit on my laurels. I'm gonna have to put something in, but it does offer a nice discount, right? If I'm getting 40 vouchers a day, I don't know, what's the math on that? 40 vouchers a day times, I don't know how, let's say let's go for 90 days. 40, so I would get 3,600 vouchers, which would be almost 2.5, BCX throughout the time of its run. That's actually not terrible, right? Like, that's actually not terrible. Now, when you think about it in that frame of reference, it's like, okay, so I get 2 free copies of this card. If I want it, I get 2 free copies of this card. And towards the third one, I get a discount. And then anything after that, I have to buy. That is the benefit of vouchers. Now, if I don't want the card, I can sell that access to somebody else. I can sell that discount to somebody else, which is exactly what I did. And if you have that access and you're not willing to buy the card, which is a promo card at the premium that a promo should be priced, you now have the opportunity to sell that access to somebody else. Take that money, pocket it, and go buy some damn ice cream. You know what I'm saying? So that's how I'd reframe it. Dragon says, hey, I've got a neighbor with a cat next door, so it's looking good. Nice. Cats for the win. Oh, man, my little guy's struggling. I brought him to the vet yesterday. I don't know if you guys ever had this. Like, I brought him to the vet, and I felt like they were just trying to upsell me on a bunch of stuff. Poor guy is already going through a lot, and they're like, oh, you got to get this and this and this done. So I'm gonna take him to another place today for a second opinion. See what happens, but keep him in your thoughts and prayers, please. I mean, thankfully he's doing all right. It's like more of a dental issue, but I don't know. I feel bad for the little guy. I don't even know where he is. It just seems like he's been struggling a lot more and more lately. All right, so Dragon says, I wonder if more dual element cards might be more helpful to a NPE, so it's possibly not such a broad scope a collection needs for lower leagues. I think to be honest, I think they went a little crazy with dual element cards. Like, it's cool, don't get me wrong, but it's like, okay, it was a novelty before when you had someone like Zerial, and then they came into Rebellion and they're like, yeah, all the best summoners in the game are going to be dual element. Oh yeah, and then instead of doing a mini set, we're going to do a promo set that where everything is dual element, right? So I would love to see actually a return to element focused, or specific element focused things. And I know that like Nate in the past, maybe it was Nate, maybe it was somebody else from Creative that would talk about like wanting to have it be more focused, right? So like for example, right now the abilities are just like everywhere, right? You can pretty much go to any element and find like that ability somewhere in the mix. But previously, or at least the way that I would think of it is like, okay, well, life should be something where there's like a lot of healing and triage and cleanse, right? And death should be something where there's a lot of like poison and affliction and whatever. And maybe fire should be something where there's like a lot of blast, right? Water should be, you get what I'm saying? Like there could be element specific stuff that they focus in on, which could make it, cooler, where it's like, okay, as you move forward in the game and you take a look at like a specific rule set, it comes down to like not which card, not just which cards, right, and which element and like which summoner, but it's like, okay, hold on, this is a game, or this is a rule set that will be perfect for what death does, right? Not because death has X or Y, Z cards or whatever, because everybody else does, but because death focuses in on like affliction and poison and all this other stuff. So I don't know, just a thought. Maybe I'm thinking too much of like Magic the Gathering. Brazen Blake, what's going on? Good to see you here, brother. Alex is in the house too. GLX is a way better game. Alex, it makes me so happy to hear you say that. I am really glad that you enjoyed GLG, and I hope that you continue to enjoy wherever it's going next. Seems like they have a game plan, so it is what it is. All right, let's take a look at where things are at right now. Then we can start to potentially wrap up, unless you guys have other questions or comments or concerns. All right, so Bitcoin staying above 100K is good. ETH, BNB, everything is looking green. So far, so good. If I may, I'm actually kind of curious now, because you know what I check more than crypto now is MicroStrategy. Oh, MicroStrategy is over 400. I don't know if you guys heard, but I think that it's like semi-confirmed that they will be included in the NASDAQ 100, announced on Friday, and by the end of the year, I think like December 23rd. And then on top of that, there's talk about QQQ as well. I mean, this could start to get wild. Michael Saylor's buying too much Bitcoin, if that is the thing. But if that pushes the price up, then hey, I think everybody's going to be really happy. All right. So that's that. Market's all looking green today too, which is fantastic. Feels like a good time. Feels like 2025 is going to be ripe with opportunity. The big question becomes, who is going to take advantage of that? Who's going to make sure that they capture that? And again, it's not about like selling the top, but de-risking as things go higher and higher, because you never know when the music's going to stop, right? It's a game of musical chairs, and you don't know when the music's going to stop. When the music first does stop, you'll still hear echoes of it around, and you'll still think that there's a chance that it's playing and that we might just be a dip, right? Like the moment the bear market begins, the moment we have topped, it's going to look like a dip, and everybody's going to keep calling it a dip. It's going to look like any other dip out there, but it won't be, because it will never go back up. Or at least not never, but it won't go back up for a while. So I don't know. That's what I think about a lot, especially heading into Q1 of next year. I feel like everything already feels like pre-frothy, if I can use that term. It like feels pre-frothy, if not frothy already. And it's like, okay, well, once things get absolutely wild, then yeah, I think I'm gonna go buy the damn ice cream store. Why not? All right, Vilson's back. Alex is laughing. Matthew says it's a real bummer Microsoft didn't buy in. No, I don't think anybody was really expecting it though. Like the board recommended no. But if I remember correctly, somebody fact check me on this. It was something like the board recommended like no to everything except for like raising like salaries of someone or something like that. So it's like, oh, okay. Well, so that's what the board's trying to do. But you know what? Everybody buys Bitcoin at the price they deserve. So, they had their chance here. Let's hope that, once we rip through 100K for good, we never revisit it. And this will be something that'll just be the egg on the face of Microsoft for years to come, right? Or for decades to come, as they will always look back. Whoever that brave shareholder was that put forth the proposal, I was just like, you had a chance to buy it at 100K, and now it's sitting at I don't know, X million by 2030 or whatever it is. Yeah. I'm not worried. No, I don't think any of this stuff stops. Nothing stops this train at this point. Oh my goodness, Alex is buying Ethereum Classic and XRP. Best of luck, my friend. All right, Matthew Young says they must not like money. Well, you know, they're probably just too focused on whatever their core business aspects are, right? I mean, software, cloud. So I'm not too worried. People will get it. What's been fascinating, as I said earlier, so like I actually bought some, not financial advice, but I bought some stock recently for both Riot and Marathon, right, which are two of the two mining companies, and like they're just following Saylor's playbook, right? Mining as it is a very competitive industry, and so they just realized like, hey, wait, we can just offer convertible notes, and people will just give us $1 billion. Like Marathon, like people will just give us $1 billion, and we can go buy Bitcoin. That's way cheaper than mining it, right? Like, or that will help fund us mining for like the foreseeable future, where mining becomes less and less a part of like the overall like equity and like whatever the company's value is. Similar to like MicroStrategy, right? I think the software business does like $75 million a year of revenue, which is like nothing compared to the fact that they're sitting on like tens of billions of dollars now in Bitcoin. So, you know, I think that that's great, because a mining company obviously has, you know, every incentive to continue working on the network. And now the fact that they're doing the same thing, Riot is doing the same thing. You know, Michael Saylor was, what's that called? Like reposting or retweeting their announcements and using the metrics that he's been talking about, right? This whole Bitcoin yield thing, which is, I know, still like a hot topic with a lot of Bitcoiners, but I get what he's trying to do. And so he's just like, oh, you know, they've achieved like this X%, you know, Bitcoin yield quarter to date or year to date. Riot has done the same thing. And so I think many crypto or well, Bitcoin obviously focused companies are gonna start doing it first. You're seeing a lot on the margins of like these like smaller, just like tiny companies that have nothing to do with Bitcoin and crypto, but they just like, they have a good cash flow and they're just starting to buy Bitcoin, right? It's going to start on the margins there, but it will slowly work its way up. I think Tesla buying Bitcoin in 2021 was such a massive move, because it's like we jumped the shark in a sense. Like, you know, we kind of jumped the line, and it's like, oh yeah, Tesla buying, you know, they're forward thinking, like, of course. And, you know, I think they've held on to most of it, but the world wasn't ready for it then. Whereas the world feels way better, or sorry, more ready for it now. People get it, they understand it, they've seen 4 years of Saylor doing it, and I like, it's fiat mining at this point, right? Like they're mining fiat for and then trading it for Bitcoin. So you know, anything that's going to help push that price into craziness. And if you see, like, yeah, like I said, I was getting into like options and stuff earlier, just seeing all of like the different financial instruments and derivatives and leverage and stuff that's all being played on top of MicroStrategy. Like that's where like Wall Street's going to have fun with that. Wall Street's not going to go buy your shitty meme coin, right? You can already see that Wall Street is having fun being degens. Like even bond traders are like, oh, this is the craziest thing I've ever done. Like buying convertible notes for 0% with a company like MicroStrategy. This is way too much. This is like crazy crypto exposure, but they all love it because the price is, you know, price generally over time, over a long enough time frame. And I think all the convertible notes that he sells are like at least 5 years, right? But the price generally moves on, you know, moves in one direction. So Vilton says everyone buys SPS at the price they deserve. Indeed. Been doing that for years. Oh, ETH, sorry. Okay, well, ETH makes more sense than Ethereum Classic. Alex said I got Mara stock for the miners. Nice. Just go buy the Hawktua coin. Oh my gosh, whatever happened with that? All I saw was that everybody's so many people lost their life savings, and then they wanted to sue her, and then something about her like just completely going offline for a bit. Yeah. Well, you know what? I mean, her 15 minutes of fame were just like, she really got a lot out of that. She went from like, I don't know, viral sensation to media darling to crypto scam. It's just like in the court. Like when did she get famous? It was like, was that like a year ago? I don't even know the time frame for it, but I mean, just her arc has been fascinating. Matthew says, "Have you read the Bitcoin Standard?" You know, I haven't fully read it. I've listened to so many Saifedean podcasts and stuff, so I understand his perspective. But I was listening to the audiobook many years ago, and I don't know, for some reason, like audiobooks versus like podcast conversations are just completely different. I really enjoy podcast conversations, but audiobooks, I just tend to like start zoning out. So like I can listen, and I do listen to his podcasts generally, hours and hours of them, and all of the interviews that he's done. I find, his take on Austrian economics very fascinating. And yeah, I think it's great. I haven't finished the Bitcoin Standard. So I know it's very like, it's embarrassing for me to say that, but I needed to be honest with you. So I have it sitting audiobook literally on my phone right now. Maybe I'll take this time to feel the full shame of admitting that live on air, and then go and finish it so I can say that I did read it. Dumb money lost. Wait, did you buy that stock? Did you buy the Hawk Tuah coin? Oh, Alex, come on, bro. You know better. Do I play Golem? Yeah, I still collect my stuff every once in a while, whenever I remember. Well, I switch it to twice a day, so I'm generally pretty good about it. Oh, it's definitely worth it. Okay, I will check it out. Yeah, what's funny is I've listened to parts of that. I've listened to parts of the Fiat Standard. Fiat Standard was really good, at least what I got through. And then Principles of Economics I haven't started yet. It's like maybe I should finish the other ones first. So, yeah. But like I said, when he came out with Principles of Economics, he was doing the full podcast circuit, right? He was like talking with all of the other top macro analysts and Bitcoin podcasts out there. And I was just listening. I was consuming all of it. And I was like reinforcing everything that he's saying, but with the questions of like a different host. So, hell no, I'm not dumb money. Okay, good. I'm happy to hear that. Alex says, I even held on SPS till I was up, then sold. Nice. All right. Well, so you sold already? What price did you sell at, out of curiosity? That says, you don't necessarily know better. These shitcoins are like lottery. You buy Hawk, you lose, you buy Peanut, and you get rich. Oh yeah. I mean, look, at the end of the day, like, I look at Bitcoin as saving. I look at MicroStrategy as investing. And I look at crypto as gambling. So now here's the thing. As opposed to like walking into a casino where like the odds are stacked against you, I think that there are a lot of interesting crypto projects out there, Splinterlands being one of them, of people trying to make a cool product in the long run, right? But you are still gambling more often than not. And obviously, the further out you go on the risk curve, especially if you're playing with meme coins, that is straight up gambling, right? But a lot of these projects that have a more defined kind of vision, goal, purpose, right? So this is why like gaming is a big one for me, because it's just like this game pulled me in, and like gaming just in general is something that has like absolutely taken over the world. So I like the gaming aspect. I like AI is cool, but I don't know that like why would it need to be like decentralized? What is a decentralized AI going to do that's different than, for example, like OpenAI or X or whatever? And don't get me wrong, I do like the aspect of decentralization, but what are they going to do better than these companies that already have like tons and tons of money, right? And could it not just be something that like later on, once the technology is a little bit more developed, then becomes open source, versus having to like build it from the ground up? And they offer a token sale where they're like, we're gonna do this decentralized whatever. It's like, oh, okay, like go ahead, you do it. If I miss out, I miss out. But yeah, there's a lot of different sectors within crypto that are interesting, but I don't know. There's so much competition, right? Even with ETH. Look at ETH right now. Like the big thing for me with Bitcoin is like there's no second best, right? Bitcoin is the best at what it does. Nothing's going to replace it. With ETH has had competition every year since it's been in existence, right? And now you're starting to see, BNB is doing well, Solana's doing well, even Cardano is making a comeback, right? So I don't know. We'll see. I still have a nice blue deck, but I let someone else play with it. Has neutral cards. I sold my SPS months ago. Oh, did you not wait for the 2x run up from the all-time low? Moved it to BTC, then moved to my Coinbase account. All right, cool. Well, BTC is always good. Then trade it to ETH and set it for APY. Okay. Now you can move ETH from Hive to Coinbase. At the time, you can only do it with BTC. Wait, what? You can move ETH from Hive to Coinbase. How do you... Oh, you're talking about just like withdrawing from... You're talking about withdrawing from Hive Engine. Yeah, I generally use Litecoin. I've used Polygon in the past, but they made changes with the Polygon network, so I don't even know what that's all about now. I'd have to test that out. But I've withdrawn Polygon. I've withdrawn stuff to BNB. I've withdrawn Litecoin. Trying to think if there's anything else. Yeah, the Bitcoin minimum is too high for me. It's like if something gets stuck, because I think it's 0.01 Bitcoin right now, which is like, I guess $1,000. Which I don't know, maybe for some people that's not a lot of money, but like if I tried to withdraw that and there was some issue with Hive Engine, right, and whatever the bridge or whatever was, like losing $1,000 would be really annoying. I used Doge to withdraw from Hive Engine and it's gone well. Oh, I forgot that there's a swap.doge. That's probably another one because they got some pretty low fees too, don't they? Swap.doge. That is hilarious. Okay. Well, all right. Dogecoin, yeah, 41 cents. That's kind of where it's at now, right? All right, let me see. Doge is at, 41.2 on Robinhood, 41.4 here. And let's see, market cap is $226,000. Litecoin, $241,000. Bitcoin, I was over 1 million Bitcoin, so that's over 1 million in Bitcoin. So that's actually pretty good. ETH, if you want to withdraw ETH, almost 1 million there. Oh wait, there's Solana now too, but I see only 38,000. Hold on, what's the spread on this now? This might be another route to withdraw. I just don't know what the withdrawal process is like. Oh, the spread's much better now. 228, 224. And what's Solana going for on market here? Sol. 228. Okay. Pretty good. Oh, I don't know why I keep going to my phone. I could just go over here and see. Swap.doge. I forgot that existed. Thank you, Matthew Young. Really, Doge, LOL funny. Is there a Doge pool on Hive? Yes. Well, I don't know if there's a pool, but you can just trade it. It's funny and meme worthy, but the fees are low. Hey, man, I'll take it. So, I out of all of like the tokens out there, I mean, the one thing that I still respect about Dogecoin is the fact that its inflation schedule is known and predictable, and it's proof of work, right? So right now, obviously, we're printing, like, the inflation is still super high because they print like 5 billion Doge per year, right? But 5 billion Doge per year, when there's a billion tokens, when there's how many tokens? Like a trillion tokens? Hold on, let me see here. Oh no, 100 billion I think so far. Let me make sure I'm mathing this right, because you'll see my point. Hold on. So I think it's 100 something billion. $147 billion, right? Okay, so they print 500 billion, so it's unlimited, right? So they print 5 billion or roughly 5 billion per year. Now, when there was 100 million Doge, that means your inflation is 5%. But by the time there's 200 million Doge, it's going to be 2.5%. And by the time there's 500 million Doge or 500 billion Doge, it's going to be 1%, right? So that inflation is going to be decreasing over time. So I know, I mean, Elon talks about this whole, like, it'd be funny if this took over. Funniest outcome is the most likely outcome. But again, in a way, like this offers like a second best something like Bitcoin, right? Just because it's not capped necessarily, but at some point the additional token supply that's added in is going to be completely minimal, right? So interesting tokenomics. And again, like I said, it's proof of work, so can't hate too much on that. I have 1 million Shiba Inu, so in 2050 should be good. Nice. I have Doge t-shirt all faded now. XRP should make the most profit percent wise. Oh damn, how did I stay on for this long, guys? You guys are too fun to chat with. Let me wrap things up now because we're almost at an hour and a half. So that's where we're at with what's going on. Let me go back to here. Ooh, closing back in on 101,000. Now, I think we still have not quite a week. I think December 16th is the date that I have marked in my calendar for the bull run to continue for the next leg up. And again, that's only based off of what happened 4 years ago in December of 2020. But like I said, it's been a carbon copy so far, so I'm expecting mid-December. I would go as early as like December 15th. So what is that? Is that Sunday? So Sunday, Monday time frame, or we'll just say next week in general, is my hope that we start to see the next leg up in this bull run, and then things go bananas. But we shall see. I just can't get behind XRP though. Yeah, me neither. I'm just here for the free stuff. I did at $1. East to go from 3 to 4. Gotcha. All right, guys. Well, have an amazing rest of your day. That's all I got for you. We will do more. I will be live again tomorrow. Oh. There is a tournament tomorrow. We are back with the Trinity tournaments, I guess is what it's called, with myself, Lorcas, and Tails. I believe all three of us should be available. Let me double check and make sure. It's going to be a morning one, so similar to this time. There you go. Trinity Talk and tournament. 12/12. Is that tomorrow? Yes. At 10 a.m. Central. So we'll be live streaming during that, having a chat, playing some games. It is a ghost card tournament. There will be delegation prizes from the generous Lorcas himself. So I would highly recommend stopping by and hanging out with us. So we'll talk more then. But have an amazing rest of your day, night, whatever time it is. I'll catch you all soon. Peace.